Hey, I'm Parker with Backyard Barn Finds, and today we're buying a 1969 Camaro shell. Camaros are a little bit more complicated than Mustangs, and I'll show you why. With a Mustang, you just have a piece of paper and it kind of tells you what motor came in the car or what motor didn't come in the car. With a Camaro, most of you at home are looking at this car saying, oh, this is a super sport car. But they never put rally stripes on any super sport car from the factory. If we go this way, we'll take a look at this Camaro. This car doesn't have a VIN number. Okay, the VIN number has been stolen off this car. It also doesn't have a cow tag, which would have been located right here. We still do have the hidden VINs on this car. If we take a, you can barely see it, but there is a number right here underneath this black paint. Starts, has an N for the Norwood Assembly Plant, and there would also be a VIN number back here too. How do we tell exactly what motor came in this shell? Well, for one, we know it was a small block because this is a small block heater box. Was this car a rally sport car or was it a super sport car? Well, we know that it's not a rally sport car because if it was a rally sport car, it would have a circle right here for the vacuum hoses. Also, the windshield wiper would have a little tab that sticks out right here so that the electric circuit's complete for the hideaway headlights. At this point, I can't really tell whether it was a super sport car or not, but I can tell that it was green. Of course, we can take a look and see down here in the cowl that it was green. In the trunk, if we feel up in here, we can see that these quarter panels have actually been replaced. So we don't know whether this car had gills on the side of it or not. If it did, it would be an X11 car, which could be a Super Sport 350. If this car did have dual exhaust from the factory, there would be a plate that sits about right here. That's what's telling me that this car was not a super sport car because it would have had dual exhaust. It's showing 30,000 miles on the odometer, probably 130,000 miles. It does still have the floors completely in it. Now, Camaros are known to rust right down here at the bottom of the quarters, and the reason why is that the water runs down into this side window right here, runs all the way down, and then just sits right here. It was originally a green color and reminds me of like just a base 6-cylinder car or something like that, just by the color of the car. Also, where they rust out, if we come back this way, or like a base 307. Normally these cars rust out right in through here in the trunk. Trunk pans are usually pretty fine, but this one doesn't look like it has that many issues. So overall, the trunk lips are pretty solid as well. It's a pretty solid Camaro for finding one out in the wild. And if you guys like seeing content about Camaros like this, just shoot us a like on the channel or subscribe to the channel. We're gonna get it loaded up on the rollback. We're actually gonna take a look at a couple other Camaros or another Camaro that's upside down.
Yeah, little ways, but I made it.
And guys, this is my buddy Gary. Gary's actually been my rollback driver for, how long you been towing cars for?
Like 10 years or more.
About 10 years. What do you think of this thing?
Looks like you might be something there.
Might be something.
Somebody might have a project or something.
It is a Camaro. Yeah, it is a project. Yeah, it's definitely needs a lot of work. And this is Ron. He's the actual the owner of the vehicle that sold me the car.
Ron, how you picking it up? You lift her, I'll back up under it.
Yeah, the convertibles are just worth a hell of a lot more in the 58. So we made it back here to the burn pile, and you can see that we do have a 69 Camaro, but it is flipped upside down. Come in here, I'll show you how we can tell. On the side here, we can see that it does have the gills in the side, which is a 1 year only thing for 69. No, honestly, don't you just love this? That this is upside down?
I love it.
I think I just think this is the coolest thing. What I was trying to do is find out if it had a trim tag still on it or if it had a VIN number still on here or something, but yeah, there's just nothing left. It was probably a pretty hot fire and probably melted that metal, yeah. Oh yeah, look at these things. These valve covers, the way it melted these valve covers down. I mean, that's just dang. You can see how it was all melted down in through here. God, isn't that the most beautiful sight? This Camaro has the backup lights down here, and that's what we mean by the RS package. The reverse light, which actually is a little bit brighter because they were bigger, it's moved to this location. This car has a vinyl top on it. That's one that the other car didn't. And this car also has the appearance package, it seems, on the side here. It has the gills. We'll take a look inside. Get you a view down in there. I don't know, this one's kind of been tubbed out and pro-streeted. Doesn't have the hideaway headlights in it. It just has the regular grille here. If this was a RS car, it would have hideaways just like this. And this is a 4-inch cow hood. They came with 2 inches from the factory, but this is, you can tell, it's the 4-inch one. Okay, awesome. And now that we have the front open, you see how this number says X11? That would be the appearance package on this car. So it would have had the moldings that go around the wheel lips. It also would have had the gills on the side that we talked about earlier. It does have the 711, so it had a black interior. And then it also has 52. I don't know the number for 52 off the top of my head. It's either red or blue. But it does have a B right here for the upper, which means that it would have been a vinyl top car. And of course it has the drum brakes on it. Looks like we do have disc rotors on here, but it has the drum master cylinder. It could have been a Super Sport 350 car if it was an X11. And we take a look at the fuel lines, they're gone, so we can't really determine that from there. Of course, it was an automatic car as well. I hope you can see this. This would be where the fuse box would be normally, and this hole right here in the firewall, it's 1 inch wide. That hole is for the vacuum hoses for the RS headlights. Now, we don't know if it was a Super Sport, but we do know that it is an RS car originally. What I'm doing is trying to find if this car had a dual exhaust plate, and there's no plate here. There's just the hole for the single exhaust. And so what that tells me, we do know that this car is a rally sport, but it is not a rally sport Super Sport car. It's just an X11. It still could have been a 6-cylinder or a 307 or a 327 car, but still a good find. This car is for sale. I mean, if you're interested in this car, you can get a hold of us at info@backyardbarnfinds.com.